Hello, welcome to episode number 5 of Full Throttle Infinitely Wide, the Motorsports Community Podcast. I'm Preston, and we've got a bit of a small crew here tonight. We are both Ryan-less and Cody-less because they've got some personal life stuff to take care of. We're not going to talk about it here, out of respect for them. So we got Mike in here, and we got a new guy in the house tonight. Say hello to Craig Newhouse. Craig, how you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. This is a first time podcast experience. I am proud to be here. So
Yeah,
go right ahead, Preston.
Yep, very happy that you're here. I'm very thankful that you decided to reach out and ask if you could volunteer to fill the void while Cody is absent. So whether or not we'll have you as like a permanent member remains to be seen. But if we can't have you as a permanent member, no hard feelings. And Mike, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. I apologize for being a bit late, but I had some things going on, but
That's all right.
we move on.
Indeed. All right, so we're going to talk about the Formula One sprint race in China tonight, as well as the NASCAR Rally Auto Parts Series race in Las Vegas. Then we'll talk about the Formula One Grand Prix race in China, and then the IndyCar Grand Prix in Arlington, and then finally the NASCAR Cup Series race at Las Vegas. We were going to do one of our special topics tonight, but considering we got 2 members absent, we're going to hold off on that. So let's get into the sprint race, as in the F1 sprint race, not sprint car racing. That was won by George Russell. He pretty much dominated this 19-lap sprint, and we had 3 cars DNF. That would be Nico Hulkenberg, Valtteri Bottas, and Arvid Lindblad. Hopefully I pronounced that right. And then at one point, Sergio Perez got a 5-second time penalty for a safety car infringement. And then Kimi Antonelli got I believe it was a 10-second penalty for a collision with Isaac Hadjar, if I remember correctly. So, other than those incidents, it was a pretty fun race to watch, I would say. Anybody else catch that?
I did catch the finish of it, and from what I've seen, it was pretty good.
Yep. The margin of victory was under a second. I bet you some people thought that Leclerc was going to steal the... What?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's all right. Yeah. I'll bet you some people thought Leclerc was going to take the win away from Russell, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But hey, both...
Even
both
for us... Sorry. Damn it.
It's all right. Both Ferraris were on the podium in the sprint. All right. What were you going to say?
Even for a sprint race, that margin of victory was pretty close.
Yeah. So, do you got anything else to say about it before we move on to the O'Reilly race?
This was an interesting race to see how good the McLarens can be, with both, to actually have a chance. But you'll see in the future that the end well.
Yeah. So let's move on to the O'Reilly race. This race was won by one of Craig's favorite drivers, if not his overall favorite driver, Kyle Larson. He led 47 laps in this race. Just one lap away from leading the most laps alongside Justin Allgaier.
At the start, I thought it was going to be a Haas full-out race. But once I saw Mayer have his problems, it was just a heck of a race.
Yeah.
Throughout.
I unfortunately didn't get to watch this race. I was at an arcade, admittedly, when this was going on. But Mike, you said you had this race on in the background?
Yes.
Anything particular you want to say about it?
It seemed like a very good show. I still have failed for the longest time trying to come up with a bushwhacking pun for the O'Reilly's name.
And I saw on Instagram that Taylor Gray got into an accident.
Yeah, it didn't seem too bad.
Yeah.
But who knows? We've had drivers' careers ended from worse. So.
Yep. So out of the 38 drivers that entered this race, 35 of them were running at the finish. The only ones who didn't finish were Gray, JJ Yaley, and Nick Sanchez. So, we're good to move on, I guess.
Yeah, I'm good to move on for this.
Yes.
All right. So let's move on to the Chinese Grand Prix for Formula One. We've got another first-time winner in F1, that being Kimi Antonelli, and he's only the second teenager to have won in Formula One. And it was a Mercedes.
To see him win.
Yeah, there was a Mercedes 1-2 with George Russell finishing 5.5 seconds behind Antonelli. And how about Lewis Hamilton finally being on a Grand Prix podium again?
I was shocked to see that battle between Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. That was a good show on that for third place.
Yep.
I've been a bit behind on F1. Is that Hamilton's first podium for Ferrari?
Correct.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And if Russell had the good restart, it would have been a different story.
I also want to point out a Haas car finished in 5th, which is astonishing.
Yeah. Oliver Behrman's a good driver, I would say.
Oh yeah, if you see when he did the temporary fill-in for Ferrari, he was, for having no experience in the F1 car, he wheeled that thing pretty good.
Yeah. And then we had 4 drivers fail to start the race, those being the McLaren duo of Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, the Audi of Gabriel Bortoleto, and the Williams of Alexander Albon. And then
Yeah, it's a real shame for McLaren to see them do so well in the sprint and then not even start the Grand Prix.
Yeah. And then we had 3 drivers DNF, those being Max Verstappen and both Aston Martins, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll. The Aston Martins had some really bad vibration issues, and I believe before the season even started, they were dealing with vibration issues so bad that the drivers could have risked nerve damage to their hands, if I remember correctly.
That's a heck of a vibration.
Yeah, it's not good. And we only had 8 cars on the lead lap in this race. The last of those being Isaac Hadjar. But man, like I keep saying, Red Bull Racing's had a really noticeable fall from grace lately, haven't they?
Yes.
I'll be shocked if they, both McLaren and Red Bull, don't get over 200 this year. I'll be shocked.
Over 200 points in the Constructors'
Manufacturer.
Championship?
Yeah, manufacturer. I'll be shocked.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It was from what I saw, pretty good race in China. I just wish I was more awake for it because reasons I was falling asleep during it. It's not because the race was boring. It was just because of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was actually up during that call while watching it with you and the others.
Yeah. So, I think it's time to move on to the Grand Prix of Arlington, right?
Yes.
Yeah. This was a pretty good race. Some people had concerns it was going to be a you-know-what show, but I thought it was pretty entertaining. And it was almost completely full course yellow free until 5 laps to go. And the winner of this race was Kyle Kirkwood. I thought it was going to be Alex Palou, but it ended up being Kyle Kirkwood. Not that there's anything wrong with Kyle Kirkwood winning.
I don't mind Kirkwood at all. He ever since his first road course win on a few years ago, he's been getting all right with settling into his rides. in like through the strides of each corner. The problem was I was worried about the track conditions on that race.
Yeah.
Through the start of how these people's setups were going into it. So
yeah. So, Mike, you got anything particular to say about this IndyCar race?
I did really like the track. It gave me some vibes of when they used to come to my hometown of Baltimore.
Yeah.
Although the surface was way better than Baltimore ever hoped to be.
Yeah. IndyCar actually has a proposed street race for as early as next year, but we'll get into that later. So, with that out of the way, let's head over to the Cup Series race at Las Vegas. This wasn't just won by Denny Hamlin, it was absolutely dominated by Denny Hamlin. He led 134 laps after starting second.
Yeah, he put on, I believe the term is put on a clinic.
Yeah.
Even with getting a speeding ticket.
Yeah, well, not literally a speeding ticket. He's just making the expression. Yeah. It looked like Chase Elliott was going to chase him down, but he ultimately didn't. He didn't even lead any laps in that race.
No, I thought he recorded 2 during the 3 wide section with Kyle Larson.
According to NASCAR.com, he didn't lead any laps.
Oh.
And can I just say about this race near the start of the race? How about that save by Shane Van Gisbergen?
Oh, that was impressive.
Yeah, just a shame he ended up finishing last.
I was about to bring that up, but you did.
Every time I've seen SVG save these last few weeks, how in the world is he not ruining the bottom of the car, just like Mayer at Atlanta? Yeah. How is he managing just not ruining the splitter?
And just like the IndyCar race, it looked like this race was going to go caution-free, with the exception of the stage cautions. But then we had a spin by Connor Zilic, much to Cody's dismay.
Yeah, that reminds me of the Ty Dillon situation again from William Byron last time we were there.
Yeah.
Also, some of the best through-wide battles we've seen so far this year, especially for Vegas. Vegas usually isn't that tight of racing, but the past few years it's been really good.
Yeah. Also, is it just me, or is this like the first NASCAR Cup Series race in a long time that we've had every car running at the finish?
I did not notice.
I was shocked about that. Even with Zilic hitting the wall, we had so many people lap down. Unexpected lap down drivers like Busch and the shocking last year's winner, Barry.
Yeah. There are only 20 drivers on the lead lap, the last of those being Eric Jones. And after the race, we had a little bit of a disagreement between 2 former teammates, Ross Chastain and Daniel Suarez.
That I don't know what the heck's been going on with the past of the Trackhouse side of things. I don't know what the heck. I've seen two-face memes of Suarez, but I don't know what's going to happen in the future for Suarez and Chastain on that argument side. Oh. If it ends up like hitting them hard when it comes to Darlington, this will be costly.
Yeah. From what I can ascertain, Chastain was just a little displeased with how defensive Suarez was driving. But hopefully their feud cools off in the future.
Hey Preston, I got a bit of fun trivia for you.
What's that?
You got a moment. When was the last time a NASCAR race finished with every single car finishing still on the lead lap?
I'm not sure, man.
It was the 2000 Duralube 300.
Oh, was that the one in New Hampshire?
I believe so, yes.
That was the one where they had the restrictor plates, right?
Yes.
Oh man.
Was that also with the domination of Jeff Burton?
Yep. I didn't see
Yes.
that race. I didn't see that race live, but
Yeah.
just based off that, the less we talk about that, the better.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was the Cup Series race at Las Vegas, and let's move on to. I know he said like at the start we'd only be covering like 5 races, but there's also like 2 news topics we got to cover. The first of which being, as my mom mentioned to me in a Facebook comments section, IndyCar is working on bringing Denver back to the schedule, and I am super stoked about it. I live in Denver. Yeah. From what the article said, it could like start next year, maybe the year after, and it will probably be taking place on the streets around the field where the Broncos play. I thought it was going to be like near the Ball Arena again, but wherever it is, like hopefully it becomes a thing. I'm super stoked about it.
That's what I'm hoping for, a return to Indy, to my hometown, but use like a different layout with some better roads. Because since, when was it, 2014, Baltimore's had a lot of repaving done downtown. So they got some newer roads now.
Now, through my experience on like track styles, I am concerned if it's gonna be at another stadium, because the performance of Nashville, how well that was over at that Titan Stadium, and then we had for this week for Arlington. Will it or will it not contain enough turns to withstand these firestones?
You mentioning that makes me just picture that layout for the DC Grand Prix that they put out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, guys, you can do better than this.
Exactly.
Yeah. So shall we move on to the other big news topic that we've talked about for the last day or two?
I think I know what that is, but sure.
Daniel Dye, you done screwed up. Yeah, for those not know, Daniel Dye has been indefinitely suspended by NASCAR for making homophobic remarks towards David Malukas.
Things go even deeper than that, but I won't get into that here.
Yeah.
Just control your mouth. Don't.
Yeah.
Just don't go there, please.
Yeah.
Whatever
you do, it's not worth it.
That should be some general knowledge for even a small-time NASCAR driver to just not be an asshole.
Yeah. Exactly. It's the same difference from, like, right now with, like, this era we've been dealing with is any accidentals past stuff, and then anything from on calls, anything in online races. It's been hectic. Anybody younger is gonna cost a lot of fines, even if a suspension. You just need to control it.
It makes me remember that time Dale Jr. lost out on the championship because he said shit in an interview.
Yeah.
Talladega.
Also, is it true that Daniel Dye used like ChatGPT to make his apology?
It was like reported that they ran it through some test software that checks and sees if your thing was written by AI, and it came back like 97%.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Daniel gets his act together in the future, and whether or not he'll, be able to return to NASCAR remains to be seen. But
In some
yeah.
good news, in that, the colleague racing truck, AJ Allmendinger is gonna fill in for it, which I think is gonna be pretty neat.
Yep. We got a buddy who's pretty stoked about that.
Ooh.
And so with that out of the way, I think that's going to be about it. We're like 20 minutes into this thing, and we've covered pretty much all we need to cover today, haven't we?
Hopefully, we can get all the guys together for an episode at some point.
Yeah, it'd be sweet. But we don't know when that'll be. But, we'll be patient, right?
Patience is a virtue.
Indeed, brother. So thank you very much, Craig, for jumping on board with this. Mike, thank you for joining me as well.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone out there who has listened to this fifth episode of our podcast. Make sure you like it, or if you want to like it, hit the like button. If you want to keep up with the future videos, whether it be this podcast or anything else I like to do, hit the subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, the YouTube channel, this podcast is on Patreon. That'd be appreciated, but you don't have to. And yeah, thank you very much for listening, and have yourselves a great night, everybody. Or a great day, whenever you're listening to this. Have a good one.
Time's up.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Take care, everyone.